Welcome to Florida Gators Live, episode number 50. And I bet if you asked me when I started this if Billy Napier would still be the head coach, I probably would have said no at this point. And if you asked me after the USF game, do I think Billy Napier would be the head coach? I probably would have said no by our 50th episode. Yeah. But, it's been a long ride here. And Tyler, I'm just going to quickly explain your emotions to Billy Steele being the head coach right now.
I mean, frustrated, disappointed. I'll see. We'll get into. We'll get into this a little bit more with some other discussions. But obviously, the big news today is James Franklin out at Penn State, which very much surprised me. I don't completely agree with that move, but it is frustrating to see all these other fan bases finally we're free and not us, not yet. But I also am not surprised. We talked about it last night. I said I would be very surprised if anything happened today, and obviously nothing has happened. They put out a media schedule with him talking this week. I don't have any reason to believe they're going to do anything like tomorrow. I think you got him at least through another. I think you got at least one more Saturday of this guy, y'all.
Yeah. It just goes to show the Florida admin's so far behind. Look at big programs like Oregon State and UAB firing their head coaches. I wish we could get that one day.
They have more self-respect. Oregon State and UAB have more self-respect than Scott Strickland.
All it took was becoming 0-7 for Oregon State to fire their coach.
Did you see they fired a special teams coordinator last week? And their special teams have been horrendous. They've given up. They've given up I don't remember exactly what it is, but their special teams have cost them a net of 20 points this year or something crazy, 20, 30 points. It was bad.
Let's see. They played some close games, so that could have been a difference in a game or two, I guess.
There was one specifically in the Houston game, which was close. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember what it was, but there was a big special teams gaffe.
Yeah. Daniel, very happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Daniel. Brian Fisher, Billy Napier must be fired. He will be. Okay,
he will be. He will be. But I agree. I wish it had already happened.
Strickland is on a mission to lower the Gator standards, and he is making it happen. I don't think so.
I don't think he's doing it intentionally. There's things about Scott's leadership, style and decision-making style that I don't really agree with.
James Franklin is 10 times the coach Billy is, and Billy is still employed. Yeah. I think those are two true statements right there.
I don't think they do obviously have higher standards because they were just in the CFP semis. I think this is going to be a decision Penn State could very easily regret, especially because the name at the top of their list reportedly is Matt Rule, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah. In he's got a lot of ties. He's an alum. He's from State College, but is that really paying $50 million to go get Matt Rule? I don't know.
Well, apparently, Adidas is paying it.
I don't think that's real. I saw that tweet, and then I saw other Penn State people say that's completely false. So I don't think that's legit.
That makes a lot more sense.
But I did see what you're referring to.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. When they immediately fired him, my initial thought was, oh, they must have Curt Cignetti locked up. But then it's all been oh no, Curt Cignetti won't leave Indiana for Penn State. And I'm like, wow. I don't think it makes sense firing him, especially if it's Matt Rule. The two names I've heard, Matt Rule and Matt Campbell.
Yeah,
going from Campbell especially would be very funny. Because I feel like Campbell's very similar to the same coach James Franklin is.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I don't think Campbell is going to get you over the hump. I don't think Rule will, but I can understand that one a little bit more.
Well, Brian, he wins everywhere he goes, and he's got. I think Nebraska, he's done a pretty good job. It's just James Franklin is one of the winningest coaches in college football of the last 15 years. You got to have a really good candidate because I'll be honest. I think it was kind of stupid. Look with Penn State for me, it's who do you think you are? What's up?
We're going to get into this a bit more later.
Yeah. Sorry. We're jumping the gun here a bit. Yeah. We're jumping the gun here a bit, but we'll get back to this, Brian.
Yeah. Guys, it all went downhill Utah 2022, but it did all go downhill after that Utah win. As we mentioned last night, talking about our top 5 moments of the Billy Napier era, Number 1 was the Amari Burney interception.
Yeah.
And then I guess we'll answer this question from Brian real quick before we start hitting on some of our topics for the show. Who are you guys' top 5 coaches for Florida? I think both. One coach we both agree on. He's not my 1, he's my 2, but Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
And then I have Marcus Freeman at my 1. Who's your 2?
Probably Freeman. I think I have the order flipped there.
Who would you put at your 3? Is it Cignetti?
It's probably well, actually, okay. If Cignetti's a realistic candidate, he's my 2.
Okay.
And then Freeman would be my 3. I think Freeman feels more realistic than Cignetti for a number of reasons at this point. Honestly though, like we can do a top 5. There aren't really 5 guys I'm like fired up about. Like if we're getting to the bottom of that list, because after that I'd probably put Drink at 4.
Yeah.
And then
about Drink, I don't know.
Clark Lee, Brent Key, Clark Lee, Brent Key. Like I didn't Dillingham maybe. I don't. I mean, at that point, it gets a little wonky.
Yeah, I would agree. It does get a bit wonky. Hopefully, you just hit on one of your top couple of guys there. Yeah, like after Freeman, probably Cignetti, and then I'd probably just go straight to like Will Stein. I'd rather Will Stein than most of these other.
That's
QB
risky,
options.
man. I think I like it. I like the idea. I just think that's too much risk for the situation the program's in at this point in time. But
I'd rather risk it. I'd rather risk it than go with like a Drinkwitz or Key. Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say Rob. Yeah, we don't because Notre Dame's private. So I don't even know if there's a good like estimate of what Freeman's buyout would be. Let me see in the USA Today Sports database, which just came out with their new salary data. If they have anything reported there, but again, it would be reported because they don't have to. No, they don't have anything reported there other than his salary is 7.4. So
wait, really?
Yeah, 7.4.
That's it.
But we don't know his bonus. That's base salary. We don't know his bonus compensation structure. So he's probably making a little bit more than that. But that's apparently his base salary is 7.4. So, I mean, we could kind of ballpark it, assuming his contract structure pretty similarly to a lot of these other guys. You'd probably guess his buyout to leave is probably like under 10, I would think. Maybe like 5.
I'll say 10. The numbers I've heard are definitely closer to 10 than under 10. Yeah, Matthew, I think Napier deserves an extension.
Yeah.
And then he beat Texas. Hey, I'm going to say in the new AP poll, our worst loss was number 19, and our best win was number 21. So, if you want to figure out the math there, I'd say we're a top 20 team.
I still don't know if I think USF's like actually really good. I think they could. I think maybe. I want to see them play Memphis or Tulane, whichever of those good teams in the AAC they play.
Lanning hates traveling across the country every other week. I mean, probably, but
do you think he hates the Phil Knight money though? I don't think he hates the Phil Knight money. Yeah.
Matthew's a Texas fan, Brian.
Yeah, Matthew's does this show for the Texas channel.
And then my favorite comment so far, JLB. Hello, Tyler. Sorry I was late. I was driving home for my brothers for our Thanksgiving dinner.
Early Thanksgiving, I guess.
Yep. But let's get into our actual show here because we got a couple topics. Do you just want to start off because we were already talking about Lane Kiffin? And,
yeah, let's get into it. And I think this is the question everyone has today. I think this is the thing everyone kind of wants to know.
Why hasn't Billy Napier been fired? If you just put us in a bubble and said we're 2-4, I probably would have guessed Billy Napier would have been fired by now.
Yeah.
And actually, let me ask you this. If you flip the order of our games and the Texas A&M game was week 2 and USF was his past game, do you think Billy would have been fired? I would say 100% yes.
So sorry, just to understand what you're saying. You're saying we beat Long Island, lose to A&M, lose to LSU, lose to Miami, beat Texas, then lose to USF? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Because then, 2-3 losing at home to USF, 100%. Yeah, I completely agree.
And then, I think it sometimes just the timing of things. I mean, Billy's not going to make it past the season. Like, there's just no world where that happens now. I mean, he could still go 8-4, but I don't think anyone's even counting on that. So I don't think anyone in the administration is even counting on that. My main thing here is we have one more game until we have a bye week before Georgia. Now, whether we lose or beat or win against Mississippi State, we'll both have our predictions later on in the show, but whether we lose or win that game, I think there's a chance Billy gets fired either way. If we lose, he's 100% fired. If we win, I still think he could get fired. And if you go back to 2023, 2023, when Texas A&M beat Mississippi State at home, they still fired Jimbo Fisher right after that game. So I think it's just timing, waiting for the bye week. I mean, there's Penn State fired James Franklin, and they play Iowa, and then they play Ohio State right after. Like, they didn't wait for – no, I think they have a bye week for Ohio State, actually. But they play Iowa this next week. They have one more game for a bye week. I think the difference here is Billy Napier's been on the hot seat his entire tenure, basically. There's probably people who want him fired after year one, especially after that Oregon State game. And then year two, there were year three, obviously, last year. And then this year, he's obviously been fired. Florida isn't in a spot to where we're going to be making an emotional decision about this. It feels like it's going to be more calculated, more slow, be more ready compared to Penn State, 3 weeks ago, they're talking about them being a national title contender. They were the preseason number 2 team in the country. Like, Penn State still was on top of the world, and it just came tumbling down. Like, in an instant.
Can you think of a parallel with that? Because I can't. Like, struggling, like a guy who had been that long tenured in a job that went from, for all intents and purposes, 100% safe to fired in 3 weeks, barring a scandal. I can't. I don't think that's ever happened before.
Yeah, I mean, the only and he didn't even get fired after that season. Like, the way Mike Gundy fell off last year, where they were like Big 12 favorites, and then end up going 3-9. Then he got fired about a month or a couple weeks ago now at this point.
Yeah,
so
they were
it wasn't even like that.
With him. They let him lose 12 straight FBS games or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, they started off 3-0, right? And then went 0-9.
Yeah, because they beat Arkansas, and then they didn't win a Big 12 game. They went 0-9 in the Big 12.
Yeah, and then he got 3 games before they fired him this year.
1 and 2, yeah, because they lost to Tulsa and lost to Oregon 69-3.
Yeah, so he got a couple of games this year as well. So, yeah, the tumble for James Franklin is it's absolutely insane. But no, my point, I think there's a good chance, win or lose, Billy Napier is fired after the game next week.
You think win? That'd be pretty. Well, lose 100%. 100%. He's gone. I think he's gone for sure if they lose. But you think there's a decent chance he's gone if they win?
Yeah, I've heard from some people that they're just waiting for next week for the bye week.
Why?
Which makes sense for our admin, because our admin, and it really reflects on Billy Napier as well, they love to wait on things. They overthink everything.
That's true.
Everything is overthought. They didn't do it with Dan Mullen, but that was also later on in the year.
Yeah. And I mean, even Dan, they just that team just completely fell apart in a way that was just totally untenable. It was kind of reminded me of the way McElwain got fired. Because McElwain had a good record, but it just, things were going so bad. And it was there's no real reason to think this is getting better. Probably only going to get worse. But it still would, I don't understand the bye. I don't understand the obsession over the bye week. And I'm not saying that isn't what they're that's probably true. That's probably is what they're waiting for to an extent. But if you fire a coach, if you make the decision to fire a coach, you're kind of punting on the season. You don't fire a coach if you think there's a chance of winning anything meaningful. So I don't really understand the obsession with waiting till the bye, but that would kind of check out with them just overthinking everything, not wanting to do anything too rash, wanting to make sure that the process is all good, transition wise. To me, it's pick anyone on staff that is generally well respected by the players, name them interim, whether they have a bye or not, just go see what happens.
Rob, I heard they're really waiting on Jaluk. Well, Jaluk's suspension is now over. So maybe they want to give him a game after the suspension. Yeah.
That is kind of insane if they're going to make Jaluk the interim.
That's what I expect.
I'm not saying I don't. That's kind of wild.
That's what I've been theorizing. Matthew here. Hire Jerry Neuheisel. I think UCLA's got to do everything to keep him, and he's an alum. UCLA family, I'm pretty sure. So
Give
I
Tim
don't
Skipper
expect.
the job. Like literally give Tim Skipper the job and keep Jerry Neuheisel as the OC. Like why not?
Yep. Yeah, I'm right there with you. But so, Natuno, I'm going to ask you, why do you think Billy hasn't been fired if you don't think they're waiting for the bye week?
Well, I shouldn't say that I don't think they are. I'm more just saying if they are, I don't really understand it. But I would say the reason I don't think Billy's been fired yet is because I think it's pretty simple. I think it's kind of an Occam's razor thing. I think Scott really likes Billy Napier. I think Billy
Yeah.
Napier has endeared himself well to the people in that administration. I think they really like him. I think they respect him. I think they recognize the things he's done that we've given him credit for. The way he's built up the program, built up the culture, built up the talent acquisition. There's been good aspects of Billy Napier's tenure. Like I said last night, I believe whoever inherits this job will inherit a better situation than he did, assuming it doesn't just get absolutely gutted in the portal. So all those things, I think they look at all those things and they just really want to see Billy get it right. I don't know why. I don't know what more Scott needs to see, but I think there's just kind of this lingering thought like, well, he figured it out last year. He got things right last year. I would contend at this point, it wouldn't matter if he did, because even if you went out, you're 8-4, probably not even with a shot at playing for the SEC with the,
No.
I mean, maybe with the tiebreakers, but probably not. So there's really no point. I don't really understand it, but like, I think it really boils down to that they like him and don't want to do something in second week of October if they don't have to.
Yeah, I think that also plays into a fact them liking him and giving him, maybe a full week. Like they tell him beforehand, like, hey, we're going to give you this last game for your last hurrah. Go out there for against Mississippi State, and then we're going to be letting you go. And I feel like with the way he is with the players as well, it's maybe something that he would have wanted. And Scott Strickland, the way he likes Billy, probably would allow him to do this. And Mississippi State, not necessarily a big game, although it is a big game for us to get to a bowl. Like, I don't think it's incredibly crazy to say we can still make a bowl game. Like, beat Mississippi State, you're 3-4 heading into the Georgia game. Probably gonna lose to Georgia, but then you should beat Kentucky. Put you at 4-5, and FSU doesn't look that great. And then if you can find a way to pull an upset against Tennessee or Ole Miss, like, it's not crazy to say this team could still make a bowl game. But that really doesn't have anything to do with Billy Napier at this point. So
no, I mean, it should.
It's one of those things where it kind of just gets that monkey off your chest of Billy Napier still being the head coach. And it kind of, I know a lot of fans who are worried that we as a program are falling behind the 8 ball here. I know this is what you brought up to me, that we're falling behind. Look at Penn State, look at all the other Virginia Tech, UCLA, like all the other schools that are making head coach openings, and really Penn State in particular, because they're the only like major program that made this change. And give me your thoughts on why it's not, because you said you don't think it's a really a big worry.
I think that's getting overblown. I mean, look, I get the frustration. Like, I totally understand. Like, I was ready to fire Billy 4 weeks ago, so I completely understand why some of y'all are seeing the decision to fire Franklin and being like, look, this is what a serious athletic department with real standards looks like. I get that. All I will just say is I think you need to fire Billy because you have to salvage the vibes here. You have to try something different because this is just, it's not working. But with that being said, I think that's a different question from, is Florida like shooting itself in the foot by not firing Billy Napier? Because the fact of the matter is, there's nothing to be gained by firing a coach in October.
No.
I mean, there's a reason that the entire concept of firing coaches this early in the season is a fairly new thing. Pretty much forever, it was these decisions were made after Thanksgiving weekend, or at least like right around it. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, you're not interviewing people. At the most, you're having contact with them through intermediaries, like back channel conversation stuff. And guys, I guarantee you, I don't have insider information about this. I just guarantee you they're already doing that. I guarantee you they have people talking.
It was happening last year. I can confirm it was happening last year. Which kind of guarantees it's happening this year.
Our people are 100% talking to the agents of the potential interested candidates. And so those conversations are happening. Those, that foundation is being laid, those seeds are being planted, whatever analogy you want to use. So I think that element of it is getting overblown. there's just nothing you can do. Like, no, like, look, you want to go hire Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin's got an undefeated football team. Lane Kiffin's trying to go win a national championship. Lane Kiffin's not going to come fly to Gainesville on a Tuesday and come chat with you. That ain't happening. So I think, I think he should be fired, but I do understand the argument, though I don't agree with it, that, like, look, there's nothing to be gained. The guys are still playing hard. They haven't quit on him. So it's not like, because if they quit on him, I think all bets are off, because then you're just putting out an illegitimate product every week. But that's not
what I was about to point out. Yeah. Like, that Penn State team is done. The UCLA loss, they shouldn't have lost that team with their roster. I know UCLA goes and beats Michigan State as well. Like, that's a game they still shouldn't have lost. But then the Northwestern game, like, that team is really, that team is done. Like, that Penn State team was done. And I still don't think they probably should have fired him. Like, I feel like it's going to come back to bite him a bit. But, if the buyout wasn't crazy like that, if there was, I don't think I should really get into this, but, like, that Penn State team was done. Like, they're not really accomplishing anything this year. I don't know if they are with the interim head coach either. I don't know who it was. Did you see who they announced it as?
I actually didn't. I have no clue.
I haven't seen anything about that.
I'm guessing maybe Knowles, but I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Maybe
Derek McKinney. I don't know. Why are we moving slow? We're not. It's October.
Yeah, like
moving slow would be firing him after the FSU game at this point.
Yeah. And I just want to reiterate one more time. Like, if it were me making the decision, it would happen by now, because I think personally, once you've made that calculation that you're going to do it, just rip the Band-Aid off. Just do it.
Yep.
That's my personal philosophy, but I don't think they're setting themselves back by not doing it.
J.K. Marshall, they're afraid to fire Billy. That's just not the case, man.
I mean, there's this is not even reporting, or like, this has just been pretty obviously in the chatter. Like, there is a successful sitting SEC coach who, from all indications, badly wants this job. I'm not talking about Lane Kiffin, but I'll just say, I'm not reporting. Can you say it again? I'm saying there's a sitting SEC coach who, it seems, is very interested in this. Like, maybe not badly wants it, but very. I'm talking about Drinkwitz. Like,
okay, I assume Drinkwitz. I was just making sure I heard you.
Sorry, there's been a lot of. I don't know why I was being so mysterious with that. Like, this has been kind of out in the open. Like, there's been a lot of chatter about Drinkwitz and this job, which I'm not even saying he's like the top candidate, but someone's putting that out there, and I would assume it's probably the representation of Eli Drinkwitz.
Yeah. Signesti pushing, he needs to be fired. Jimmy Sexton should be on Scott's speed dial. Probably is at this point.
Probably. I don't think there's any AD in the country that doesn't have Jimmy Sexton on speed dial. Although Jimmy doesn't represent as many of these guys anymore. His talent agency split, and one of his other guys took over a lot of his clients.
Yeah. We are slow. Should have been gone early last season. Now, that's a different argument, I feel. But it's also like, again, firing a coach early in the year. And what Billy did last year was something he hadn't done. So that's what's different from last year and this year. If Billy gets us to 7-5, say, this year, it's like, okay, but we saw you do this last year and then go into next year and have that exact same thing. Like, so if he does it this year, it doesn't matter. Like, I still don't think it matters. I know a bunch of people. A bunch of higher up people are upset. That's why I tend to think, even if they do win that Michigan State game, he's gone. And that's not a surefire win either. And if he loses, I'm like 100% sure he's gone after that game. So I don't think we're slow. I think people are just so ready for it to be done. They want that chip monkey off their back and everything to, feel like they're going to rest easy. And the head coach always gets all the blame, which it's you're the head coach. It's your fault if you win. It's your fault. It's your fault if you lose, and if you're Billy, it's someone else's fault if you win. But no, I'm just kidding there. But like, people just want Billy gone, and the way he talks, like, he's a bit monotone, doesn't really do anything exciting. Like, it's gonna add more onto Billy, and then the fact that it seems the number one target is someone who's so outspoken, even though he's not outspoken. He's like, he tweets. He's outspoken on his tweets.
Kiffin's actually kind of mild-mannered, like pretty soft-spoken and mild-mannered when you hear him talk. But I'm sure that's not the case behind closed doors. Yeah, there you go. I will say, going back to what you said about last season, like, and should they have fired him? I will say, like, I think making the postseason evaluation, do you fire him after that run to go 8-5? Probably not. I think that would have been probably not the right call. The problem with that is that requires you to forget the fact that decision wasn't made after a 4-game winning streak. That decision was made when you were 4-4 heading to 4-5.
From what I was told, if they would have lost those games, if he would have went 5-7, he would have been gone.
So you're saying that was just a fake? That was just a fake vote of confidence that Billy ultimately won enough games to make true.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying the real money people would have been mad enough if we didn't win those games.
Yeah. I will say, I still think the administrative stuff with the lack of a president, which is still kind of a problem, I guess, but less of a problem than it was then, and just the House financial uncertainty, I think also contributed to us not wanting to fire Billy Napier. I mean, there were a lot of coaches that survived last year that probably shouldn't have, and most of them have already been fired. So
yeah, like James Franklin. No.
Yeah, exactly.
JLB, I think the only thing that's stopping this from happening is Sunbelt Billy's ridiculous buyout number. I still don't get why this game lifetime contract. Yeah, it's not. Money isn't the thing here.
I will say it's not ridiculous, but it does seem like Florida hasn't written themselves in as many, I guess, potential outs is the word I would say. Florida's on the hook. They got to pay him a lot of money right up front. They didn't stretch this buyout out. There's not, from what I understand, a lot of like mitigating factors or potential to renegotiate. It kind of sounds like we just owe him that 20.5 or whatever it is, which is unfortunate. I hope they learn from that lesson with this next one, but they won't, because if they go higher,
especially if it's Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, if you hire Lane, you're paying him $12 million a year, fully guaranteed contract. So yeah.
Rob, I wanted Billy fired at his hiring press conference when he said, "This is going to take a long time to build. You will get frustrated many times." Right there, he told me he has a loser mentality. So the second part, I mean, I feel like that's kind of just a personal thing. But the first part, college football was also in a different time. There was a lot of change happening. How many coaches were legitimately taking over our situation and winning year one?
There also wasn't a lot of clear data on actually doing a huge portal flip can work.
Yep.
There wasn't really a lot of, just proof of concept of people doing that. Like, I don't blame Billy for not being great in year one. The thing is, I've been out on Billy, like, in my mind, like, I don't believe in this guy since the Arkansas loss in 2023. Really, it was kind of going into 2023 because I just thought we didn't handle that offseason very aggressively for a team looking to take a huge jump in year two. And that sort of proved to be the case. So I think that is, I think the fact that it didn't happen, you going into years 2 and years 3, like, that's understandable. Talking about Billy demeanor real quick. I actually missed this last night. And I don't think we discussed it because I walked out of the room when this happened, so I didn't see it. Billy's interview coming back from the first quarter where he like got sassy was like, if they keep running cover one, we're just going to keep burning them or something.
We didn't take it. We took advantage of it like once and Lagway missed the throw for the rest of that in the fourth quarter, something like that.
It's like, dude, have a little self-awareness, man. Come on.
Well, I'll get back to that. So why hasn't Billy Napier been fired? It's kind of just waiting for the right moment. And you can argue there never is a right moment. You just rip the Band-Aid off. But with our administration, with how much Scott really likes Billy, they're going to make sure they take their time. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something that happens like a Monday instead of Sunday. Because how we operate.
I was saying, I don't think it's happening this Monday, but I think that could happen like at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, but Billy will be fired. And it's like last year. Or not last year, sorry. When we fired Dan Mullen, we fired him after the Missouri game, a week before the FSU game. We still had Billy. We hired Billy Napier with like a week later. Not even a week later after the FSU game. Like, not even, right?
Something like that, yeah. 'Cause, I
Like
mean,
Billy was hired
they
pretty
had their
quickly.
conference championship that he was coaching in at Louisiana, and then like pretty much the next day it got announced, I think.
And I'm pretty sure it was
But
like already heavily rumored that it was
yeah,
happening.
yeah.
Like, I mean, Billy was basically the guy right after we fired Mullen, it felt like. So I wouldn't worry too much about if we're going to get the guy because we don't fire Napier in time. Billy will be fired, and who we hire won't be affected by when we fire him, unless there's just some huge malpractice. But I doubt that.
Yeah.
There was a comment I wanted to get to here.
Was it this Billy ranked road record?
Yeah. Billy is a loser, 1-17 road record in Sun Belt, 0-14. I will say that one was a top 10 game against Iowa State. So in Sun Belt, I mean,
Louisiana beat a top 10 Iowa State team. I don't remember
2020.
that. I do not remember that. Oh, okay,
So
that was like
a
weird
road
COVID
game,
okay.
but like it was a road game.
A COVID road game. It was a COVID road game. Yeah.
Still a top 10 Iowa State team though.
Yeah.
So, wait.
Follow Billy where?
I'd be surprised if Lagway followed Billy here. Lagway, yeah, I don't think Billy's gonna be jumping right back into a high enough level job for Lagway. I feel like Lagway the last
take a year off.
Yeah, or maybe go like high school coaching or something right away, or he could get a G5 job. Like
he'll get a Sun Belt job. I mean, he could get if Summerall. I mean, maybe even if like Summerall left, I doubt Tulane would want to do that. But like,
no, that's
I don't know if the coach at James Madison, whose name I'm blanking on, took the Virginia Tech job, I could see like a job like that going after Billy, like a decent like Sun Belt, like go back because I mean I think you send Billy back to the Sun Belt, he probably
Bob
did
Chesney.
pretty well. Bob Chesney, thank you.
Yeah, I would agree there. I mean, Billy's not. It's kind of like you see it happen a lot with coaches who go to big time jobs. They end up failing, going smaller places. I mean, Manny Diaz at Miami. Now he's at Duke, and he's doing a good job at Duke. I mean, last year they won 9 games. Don't think they're doing it as well this year, but
I think he's going to be a Penn State candidate. Like a tier 2. Like if they whiff on someone, like if Rule decides not to come for whatever reason, he could definitely come, but I think he will be a top 4. I would say he'll be like a top 4 or 5 candidate for that job. He was a good DC for them.
Yeah, he was a good DC. I just don't think you should give Matt Campbell that job, that level of job now.
No, I said Manny.
Yeah, sorry, Manny. I meant Manny. Yeah, he would be welcome back to Louisiana. I know they're like 2-4 right now, aren't they?
They're not very good. Yeah, that Michael Desermo, the guy who replaced him, which was his OC who did not follow him to Florida. He replaced him. No. He kind of had a good start, but has not done very well.
No. I know his QB Walker Howard got hurt, but
yeah, I think they went to the Sun Belt Championship last year and got rocked by Marshall.
Yeah, they got dominated in that game, I remember.
Yeah.
I was never sold on Napier. He was one head from.
He was over his head from day one. Yeah.
Yeah, over his head from day one. I like the Napier hire. I was all on board the Napier hire.
Yeah,
what was your thoughts on it?
I was very in. Like I'm not gonna do revisionist history. I was all in on Billy. I thought. I mean, the thing is though, I think Billy was the right hire for the time period in which it was made. I don't think Billy's the right coach for 2025. And I think that's to me the great irony of this whole thing is I think Dan Mullen, had Dan not essentially just given up on the program, would be much more successful in this year in a big job in this era of college football. Whereas I think Napier would have been incredible in the old era of college football because I think Napier's talent acquisition would have been insane at a time where paying players wasn't happening at least as overtly.
Yeah, I mean, shout out Jason Marshall. No, but don't know why I said that. No, but yeah, I was on the Napier train. I thought because he was from that Nick Saban and I mean a little bit of Dabo as well. Like he had both of those coaches. He had coached under and was rising up. Was doing really good at Louisiana. Had some big time wins. Like, and he was supposed to bring something that we just didn't have under Mullen with that. Just being a physical team. which we just hadn't been since like the Muschamp era. So I was all on board, and we can make jokes that he was a Sunbelt Billy because he was in the Sunbelt and everything. But I mean, Urban Meyer was in the Mountain West before we hired. Was it the Mountain West or was it? Yeah, it was Mountain West at that time, right?
Yeah, they were Mountain West.
So like, our arguably best coach had 2 natties, was also from a lower level. Now, Billy didn't have the success that Urban did at Utah. It was also a different time period. Utah also unequivocally a better program than Louisiana ever was or ever will be.
Yeah, and they were then too. Like even as a Mountain West team, they were a good program. Like they had good years. I mean, they did the same thing basically with Whittingham in 2008, where they went undefeated and beat Alabama.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, with Whittingham. So like Utah is a good program. So, and I know we're at a point now where we got to hire a proven Power 4 coach. I don't think you can give up on the coach if he's not a proven Power 4 coach. Like, I don't know what the guys are now that you're looking at from the G5. I still don't think it's Golish.
I mean, if there's any, it's Summerall. But Summerall just feels to me like a better version of the Billy hire.
I have another name. Okay, maybe not. They lost to Troy yesterday.
Wait, who?
GJ Kinney.
I do like Kinney. I think Kinney will be a candidate at both Arkansas and Oklahoma State, if I had to guess. I would not want him for Florida personally.
What's your opinion on Eric Morris?
These are Texas guys. Like that's just the thing. Like they're just like lifer Texas guys, and I don't know. And they're just I just think that would have to be Florida would have to get told no to a lot, because I think I would rather have almost any like moderately successful sitting P4 coach. I mean, I would rather go hire like a Matt Rule than take a gamble like that on a G5 guy.
Matt Rule's interesting.
Yeah, that's a name I haven't really thought about. It just seems like a weird fit, but I do think he's a good coach. So
yeah. Who was LSU's defensive coordinator, right?
No, you're thinking of Aranda.
Oh, I'm thinking of, yeah.
Matt Rule was Baylor and Carolina and now Nebraska, obviously. And Temple. Yeah. He was good. He was really good at Temple too.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he was good at Temple. All right, well, I guess we can start hitting this up on our next segment here. Coming into the season, PFF, a lot of people all over social medias, ESPN, everything, and ourselves included, and a lot of fans had high expectations for Florida's offensive line. Some calling it even a top 5 offensive line, with it being in the mix with the Texas A&M's, Miami's, Alabama's, Ohio State, Iowa. Like, our offensive line was being talked about as one of the best. And it had proven it. It had players on the offensive line that had played great football. Jake Slaughter was coming off winning the what is it? The Remington? What's the Center of the Year award called?
I think that's O-lineman. That's one of them. I can't remember if that's the. Wait, I think it's the Outland. Are you sure?
That's right. The Outland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, he didn't win it. He was.
Yeah, no, he didn't win. He was a first team All-American, and he was on the preseason like Outland watch list for this year.
Yeah, so he was preseason All-American. He was first team, so he didn't win the award, but he was still first team All-American over the guy who did win it. So
those awards are kind of a joke too, to be honest. Like the writers who vote on those are crazy sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, sorry. But Austin Barber was being projected even as high as a first-round pick. Kanjai Harris had a good, solid start to his redshirt freshman season, and Damian George is a solid veteran offensive lineman. And you had the right tackle spot you had to figure out, but you had some names, some promising young guys. Bryce Levette played good snaps at guard, and you're hoping that could translate to tackle. Caden Jones has now won that job, a 4-star. I know we talked about Fletcher Westfall, but from what I've heard, he's just too tall to play right tackle, and they're keeping him at left tackle. Although I don't suspect Westfall will ever start at left tackle for Billy Napier. Maybe he'll stay under a new coach, but yeah. So we had high expectations, and the proof was in the pudding. They had results. Last year, they were one of PFF's top 10 graded offensive linemen in the country, and you returned 4 out of 5 starters. And, I don't think necessarily the entire problem is the offensive line, but one thing you can't ignore, Cassius Howell bullied Austin Barber.
Yeah.
Our offensive linemen have been getting bullied by elite players. And when you play in the SEC and, you have high-level rivalries outside the SEC like Florida does with Miami, FSU, we have a game scheduled with Colorado. Like, you're gonna play a lot of elite defensive linemen, and we have good offensive linemen. And if you were getting good QB play, all the time, maybe it could make up for it a bit more. But right now, we're not getting great QB play. Lagway's played better over the past 2 games. He had a good first quarter yesterday, but then the second half was a bit rough from him. But yeah, if you're not getting great play from your offensive line and the play calling being a bit predictable with the run game and everything like that, it's really going to hold the offensive line. But they have definitely not lived up to standard.
No, I don't think they've been I agree. I don't think they've been the biggest problem, but we thought they were going to be the biggest strength. And that's been far from the case. Especially, they've
Absolutely.
been fine in they played well. They played really well last week against Texas. So credit to them for that. But when they've gone against, Ruben May and Cassius Howell, last night, when we've seen them go up against the best players in the country on defensive line, like you said, it has not been great. And I think just generally, they got bullied pretty bad in the Miami game, kind of struggling to get the run game going that time. So, and I think the part of the problem too is it doesn't help. Having kind of questionable offensive line play at time doesn't help when DJ, like we said last night, is just such a different quarterback when you get pressure on him, because he then doesn't have his footwork gets bad real quick. He, throws from platforms he shouldn't be and rushes reads and stuff. So I think it just is not very conducive to the type of offense we need to play right now to be successful, which is, run the ball and set up, plays for our receivers that take some time to develop. Yeah. It's hard to pinpoint. It's where else are you going to put the blame on the offense? Obviously DJ holds some of it. But I think Baugh is a first-round talent at running back. I think Dallas is a first-round talent at receiver. I think Vernell, I'm not sure he's that good, but I think he's really good. And we've seen moments from Trey, from Sturdivant, from Mizell. The skill position talent, not at tight end, but the skill position talent outside of tight end is there. DJ has not been great, but he's DJ, and he's at least starting to figure some things out. DJ has still made some throws these last couple weeks. They're okay, it's still in. You can see he still has it in there.
Yeah. With how it looked after the Miami game, where it's okay, I don't think we want DJ on our team next year. Now I'm back on there. It's been okay, if our new coach wants DJ and he's willing to stay, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. So it's disappointing. And I think I've seen some people in the comments point it out. And it's especially disappointing with the amount that you've invested, with the 2 offensive line coaches. That's, for the way Billy wanted to play football here, the style of play he wanted to build, offensive line was important. And, we thought the development had been pretty good. The recruiting's been kind of lackluster, but we thought the development had been good.
And even the recruiting has still been better than it was under Mullen.
Sure. We haven't recruited well on the offensive line since Muschamp, but
it was. I know for a fact it statistically is better than what it was under Mullen, and by a good bit.
Definitely,
the difference.
Well, the recruiting in general is better than it was under Mullen, pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. Especially considering Mullen's highest offensive line recruits. He got Richard. Did he get Garage or did Muschamp get Garage?
I want to say
not Muschamp, McElwain.
I want to say Garage was Mullen's first signing class, but he had already been committed under McElwain. Is what I want to say, but I could be making that up.
Outside of him, Mullen's highest offensive line commit was Isaiah Walker, who transferred in the spring, or whatever. So, yeah, the offensive line recruiting is actually. I think I saw the difference was a 3-star ranked in the 500s versus a 3-star ranked in the 600s.
Yeah,
or 700s. So,
and
that's you'll remember a pretty big difference.
Dan had to scheme around some pretty bad offensive line play. That 2019 team could not run the ball at all.
Except for 4 big runs that P. Ryan hit.
Despite having 2 NFL guys in P. Ryan and Damian Pierce on the roster. So, obviously, they were saying the talent was there. That was an offensive line thing. So, yeah, Mullen's offensive lines were not where they needed to be. But also, to Mullen's credit, I guess, I don't know if this is something you get credit for, but a mitigating factor at least, is that wasn't necessarily Mullen wasn't trying to build this like physically dominant 12
No.
personnel style team. So you can
His
kind of get
offense
away with
wasn't
it.
requiring it.
Exactly. You could get away with it. You cannot get away with it trying to play the way that Billy Napier wants to play football. You cannot get away with it.
Although Mullen did recruit tight ends better. Although that's also because of Tim Brewster, who was a like 2-time Mackey winning tight end coach.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yeah,
like recruited tight ends better, but I mean,
imagine
Billy's offense had the tight end play.
Yeah. Well, that's the craziest part. It's you want to run 12 personnel, and the only areas where you're really lacking in recruiting right now are the offensive line and tight ends. It's crazy.
It is actually absolutely wild. So yeah, but this offensive line issue, and now the things with the offensive line, it's not really something you can build in the transfer portal. It's a lot tougher. There's not as many good offensive linemen, and offensive line play is 5=1. So you gotta have connection there. You can't just build a whole offensive line in the transfer portal. Like you could. I mean, look at Oregon's offensive line yesterday. I mean, they brought Isaiah World over. I think they had another offensive lineman as well, and it's like I wouldn't say Indiana bullied their offensive line, but Indiana's defensive line, considering the talent differential, won that matchup.
Yeah.
And for an Oregon offensive line that went and got highly rated transfers, they have some highly rated recruits as well. It's something that you just got to build together and have them develop. And the point I'm getting at here is not just about Billy. For a new coach next year, do you think this offensive line is something that could be salvageable in 1 year?
Well, I think it's going to be tough because you lose a decent amount off of this year's offensive line, or at least you lose Slaughter, Barber, and George. So, kind of the three mainstays of the last couple of years. I will say my counterpoint to what you're saying about transfer portal is that, Brandon Crenshaw Dixon, who like we, didn't necessarily hype up as like the best player in the world, but seems like the right side's missing him, and he was a 1-year transfer addition. So I would just say that. But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, I mean, I think it'll be tough to salvage. I think whoever Florida hires, if they make the right hire, especially because the schedule right now looks like it'll be more manageable than it's been the last 2 years. I think there is the path to have a pretty good year one here, but that is definitely shaping up to be the most concerning area because you're almost certainly going to have to portal three starters at least.
Yeah, I say the one good thing we talk about our line recruiting, our backups are like 4-star guys. We mentioned Westfall. If Harris stays, Harris is a solid starter. Jason Zanamella, if he stays, he's a backup. Marcus Maskell's a 4-star. Caden Jones was a 4-star. TJ Dyson year 2. Like, there's some talent on the offensive line. It would probably be our most talented offensive line we started since I can't even name when.
Yeah,
like almost all
4-stars. Ratio wise. Yeah, because I mean, Slaughter wasn't a big time recruit.
No, it was like the 600s or 700s.
I think Barber was like a mid 4-star.
No, Barber was in like the 600s.
Wait, really? Barber wasn't even a 4-star?
No, he was a 3. I remember when he committed, actually. I remember that day. Because we offered him that day and he flipped from like USF or something like that.
Wow, I did not remember that. That's okay. Yeah, so they really are making it work with not a lot of talent. So I mean, I think the development has been all right.
247 had him as a 4-star, but his composite was 559.
Okay, yeah. So that's yeah.
And we flipped him. Miami also offered him. He didn't flip, so he was. Oh yeah, he decommitted from Minnesota in November, and then committed to us in December.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Slaughter and Barber were 3-stars, so I think it's something that is salvageable because there's more talent on the backups on our offensive line than there has been in forever. And you got to keep those guys, obviously, but then you add the fact that you might get a couple transfers or anything like that in the portal.
You got to assume whoever you hire is bringing some starters with him.
I'll say this: if Lane Kiffin's the hire, I think we might have a better offensive line year one than Lane Kiffin had in his entire tenure at Ole Miss. Which may sound really weird to say, but if
you're saying that because of who he would bring or because of the talent he would inherit?
Based on the talent, yeah.
The talent he would inherit or the talent he would bring?
A combination of both. The talent. like assuming a good amount of these players start, which you look at a lot of these guys, I mean, West, it's hard to predict who will transfer and who won't, but I think there's a bright spot a bit there on the offensive line for next season that it might be hard to see right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Barber went to high school with Webb. Trinity Christian Academy. That's a big time school there in Jackson.
Yeah, they're all Jack's guys. Yeah, I forgot that Burke and Barber are from there too. That's not too far away from where I'm at right now. I'm only like 10, 15 minutes away from there.
Oh, shout out Trinity Christian Academy.
Shout out Trinity Christian.
No. But you got any other thoughts on the offensive line? Maybe something that stood out to you?
I just think, I mean, I don't walk away from that game being like the offensive line is a major problem. I think that was more of just playing a really good player, a guy that's going to be playing on Sundays. Probably hear his name called pretty early on Thursday night of the draft.
And then also the fact that we continue to let Barber go one-on-one against him when he continuously got beat. That kind of just shows Billy's lack of transforming the offense to fit the need of that game.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I mean, that's where you need, send a tight end there to help block. Like people, we were saying that last night. People were saying that in our chat as well. There are just things you can do to aid that. And there's no adjustment from this coaching staff. Like, it doesn't ever feel like there's a, like, okay, this hasn't worked, let's reevaluate it. It doesn't feel like they ever do that in game. Yeah, exactly.
Like, even if he still gets through the running back and you're still getting a bit more time for Lagaway. There's no reason not to do that. And it's just a microcosm of Billy's offensive scheme just being like, okay, this is what we're going to do. It doesn't matter the opponent. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does work, luckily we have a good game.
Yeah, it's like Billy throws a punch, right? And maybe it hits, maybe it doesn't. But if you throw a counter punch and it hits, there's no defense. Like there's no coming back from those counter punches. It's either Billy comes in and the plan works and you win the game because the plan worked, or the plan didn't work and it's like, well, that's it. Because there's just no element of like figuring things out in game, and it's frustrating to see.
Oh, wow. This is an interesting actually just end this segment here first before I get onto that bit. Yeah. The O-line, it sucks it hasn't played like that elite unit, but I mean, I said it last week. I said after the Miami games, it's the entire offensive around him as well that hurts. And again, Barber was losing one-on-one, and that game really is going to hurt Barber's stock, who, for the most part, actually kind of been a stock up guy this year. From mostly what I heard, I assume that game's going to not help that at all. But
yeah, well, it's the right side that's been the problem more so than the left side for most of the year so far.
Yeah, definitely has been the right side, but I don't suspect the O-line is going to be that much of a problem against Mississippi State.
No, and truthfully, it might not be for much of the rest of the year. I don't know if you're going to face a better defensive front than that the rest of the way.
No, I mean, we talked about this last night. We don't play another edge rusher that really jumps off the screen and scares you.
Yeah.
But we will be right back after this quick break and these words from Mark Rogers.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner.
Welcome back to Florida Gators Live. Get to some comments here. Someone asked a question I thought I wanted to get to here. Imagine Kiffin with the talent we have. I think we've talked about this many times. Do you think Kiffin, with Kiffin coaching, Do you think we win that Texas A&M game?
I think Florida's probably like 5-1 right now with Kiffin coaching.
5-1, and that one loss either being Miami or Texas A&M, who is a top 4 team right now. No, Indiana jumped.
Indiana's 3. Miami's still 2. A&M's 4. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, top 4 team, like with Indiana, Miami being number 2. Yeah, I mean, we'd be having a pretty fun season right now if Lane Kiffin were the coach.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I really do think Lane, if that's the move, I think Lane has the potential to come in and have a very like similar year one to what Dan Mullen did here, where it's not perfect, but you come in and immediately you become competitive. And you see the identity, like take on the coach's identity, like very quickly.
No.
Can't argue with that.
Just had to get that in there. Yeah, Kenpo. Kiffin is 6-0 3 times. I thought it's 2 times. 2022.
Yeah, I don't have the fact check on that. I think Miami and A&M are better teams than Florida. Billy Napier's coaching aside, I think they're probably better teams. Miami for sure. I think A&M probably is too.
I think with how the game went last night, if Lane were coaching the offense and the defense played the same, I think Lane probably wins that game. A&M gave us so many opportunities there to tie that game back up and keep us in it. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter now. But let's start talking about our 1v1 pick'ems. Last week was a big week, a lot of fun games. Sadly, a story that continues to go on here. You win the week. I went 3-4. You went 5-2. Picked too many upsets as usual. North Texas versus USF. If that game was over at halftime, I won. But then USF scored like 3 touchdowns in 4 minutes to start the third quarter or something like that. Crazy like that. So USF ended up pulling ahead and getting the pretty big win over North Texas. Ohio State, start to finish domination over Illinois. No surprise there. Alabama almost gave that game up to Missouri, but they're able to hold on. We both get that right. We both picked FSU.
That's tough.
It's tough. Maybe we should keep picking FSU every week and they keep losing. That'd be fun. Yeah. We both picked Texas. We both got that right. Even though Napier played, I know you said you probably would pick. You might pick. You would have gone either way if Napier was playing.
I would have picked. So by the time we got to the end of the week, I settled on would have picked Oklahoma if Napier was playing, but I assumed he wasn't and picked Texas. But then obviously he did, and it didn't matter.
All right, you're 4-3. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
We both got Texas right. I mean, Texas looked good, and that's the thing. Like our worst loss is number 19, and our best wins over 21. So we're sitting right there. But no. I picked South Carolina. You picked LSU. LSU was able to hit a couple explosive plays that put them away in this game to pick up the win. And then we both picked Oregon, and Indiana surprised us both and got the win. I mean, shout out to the Hoosiers. Maybe they're not a basketball school anymore.
Like one of the more surprising, because it's hard, a result in a top 10 matchup can never be like crazy surprising, but among the more surprising top 10 results I can think of in recent memory. Yeah, that was something.
That was something. But hey, we got another pretty big week here in college football. I'll start with the Friday night game. I know we just said it, Miami number 2 in the country, but are we still saying Miami can't slip up on a Friday night game against a good Louisville team?
I guess I wouldn't say
they can't.
I wouldn't say can't. I wouldn't say can't. I will probably say won't though.
Miller Moss, nearly 1,400 yards, having a decent. 7 touchdowns, 4 receptions. Having a tough time putting the ball in the end zone. Although I would assume, what's the running back's name?
Isaac Brown. I
assume he's probably getting a bunch of those touchdowns.
Yeah, he's a baller. He's a baller.
Well,
I don't know if that'll matter in this game because Miami's front is so good, but yeah, he is a baller.
Hey, Jeff Brom's a good coach, especially in big games.
Yeah.
He made a career out of it at Purdue, and Louisville beat Clemson. Yeah, beat Clemson last year at Louisville. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Louisville was able to pull one up on Miami. It's still Mario Cristobal-led team, and is Miami just going to go straight to 12-0?
This on a Friday night absolutely does feel like the game he would do it. If there's going to be a Mario moment, Louisville on a Friday night in Coral Gable, or I mean in Miami Gardens, yeah.
Oh, Miami Gardens, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It always screws me up too. But yeah, I that definitely has some Mario some Mario, DNA kind of all over it. I think I would say Louisville or Miami wins that game, but yeah, I could see it.
This is 100% a game where I would have picked Louisville, but I got to hold serve a little bit here so not let this become impossible for me to come back. So I'm going to take Miami here.
Yeah.
Although I really want to take Louisville because that spot is kind of scary. And
well, you're not going to come back picking the same picks as me. You just won't get worse.
Let's get on to our next game here. LSU, number 10, travels to number 17, Vanderbilt. LSU's offense had a couple explosive plays, although South Carolina's defense is really not that good. They have a couple big-time players, but all around, it's not that good of a defense. So, who do you got here, LSU or Vanderbilt?
Vandy opened as a favorite here.
They did. They're 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah, this kind of feels like Vandy's spot, doesn't it? Like,
oh,
I know. I know that's gonna bother me. Like, I'm very much not in on LSU anymore. They've got some problems even after the way they won yesterday. Like, I think this is more the spot than Alabama was because, like, they've already kind of had the letdown, but Pavia is still good. I feel like I'm gonna be wrong here, but I'll go Vanderbilt.
You know, I was 100% going to pick Vanderbilt.
Shouldn't have let me pick it first. Shouldn't have let me pick it first, man.
Well, no, because you still probably would have picked Vandy.
That's true. Yeah, but you wouldn't have known that. You would have locked in your pick first.
Are we that secure with these? I can't change it just after.
I think this is a verbal contract.
Verbal contract. You know, surprisingly, guess how much ticket prices are for this game?
Probably a lot. Probably what, like 150, 200?
$211.
Wow.
For a game in Firebank Stadium. The stadium's finished, right?
Yes, it is, I believe. I'm almost positive it is.
Yeah. A good running QB will give an aggressive LSU defense a hard time.
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be
I want Vandy to win, so LSU is going to win.
There's going to be so many LSU fans there.
Oh, 100%. Like, hey, Jalen Merrick, he'll be at the game. Shout out Vandy there, if you know who I'm talking about. All right, next game we're going to pick. It's not too great of a week. Got a couple big games. Another one here. Lane Kiffin travels to Sanford Stadium. Georgia had the longest win streak in the country at home until Bama traveled into Sanford. Georgia coming off a close win against Auburn. I saw the replay last night. We talked about it, saying Auburn got screwed. I don't think so. I think it was a pretty close call. And if it was ruled a fumble on the field, then I kind of agree with it standing. So maybe less credit there. You know what actually happened? Georgia picked up the fumble. No, that
I'm saying the timeout thing is where they got screwed. That was crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. But also they picked up the fumble and they blew the play dead, which probably would have resulted in a 100-yard touchdown that got taken off the board. And they still got 3 on the end of that drive, but touchdown's a lot more versus a field goal. But I think I know where both of us are going here, but I'm going to go first. I'm going to take Georgia to, win this game. I don't think Vandy's Ole Miss is a very physical team. I think they got exposed a bit by a bad Washington State team. There's a reason Ole Miss was a 33-point favorite in that game. Maybe Georgia is going to be a bit hungover after getting that win over Auburn. Like, not the fact that it's a big win. I mean, it's a rivalry game, so it's always a big win. But the fact that it was a physical game where they had to come back. And this is a revenge spot for Georgia. It's at home. I'm not too high in this Ole Miss team, so give me Georgia here.
Yeah, I still feel like we maybe haven't seen, but we'll see the Trinidad Chambliss, like, oh yeah, I forgot this is a Division II quarterback game.
I think we saw a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah. He ended up being pretty good, but like Washington State. I think, yeah, I think Georgia, I don't think Georgia's great. I don't think Georgia is able to like physically dominate them the way they have been in most years. But there is also just an element of vibes to me in picking Georgia, which is like, is Kirby really going to lose to these guys twice in a row at home this time? Like, I just have a really hard time believing that, especially because Ole Miss is the one that comes in. That's the one coming in with something to prove. Like, they're the one that's got the undefeated record to protect. They're the one that's in the top 5. Not that, I mean, Georgia's kind of in you got to win mode because you can't take too many losses. But I think Georgia is kind of playing with a little more house money in the sense that, like, Ole Miss is really trying, especially after missing the playoff last year. Like, there's, I think, a lot of pressure on them to keep winning. And I just going on the road, I don't really like it here.
Picking Ole Miss, Georgia has not been challenged yet.
They played best
Bama
team
and Tennessee.
They played the best team in the SEC and almost beat them. So
yeah, Ole Miss hasn't been challenged yet, because I picked LSU to win, but really I think Vandy is going to win that game. Like, I don't think LSU will be ranked for too much longer.
No,
like
their losses are coming.
Yeah,
they're gonna have a few.
I know. Oh, who is it? Is it Josh Payton? Yeah, Josh Payton, I think, has been the one who's been saying this is going to be a wild coaching carousel with all the big names. Penn State, obviously, Florida will be in it. Auburn, potentially. I think LSU and I've heard Oklahoma is like one that they're talking, like there's legitimate talks about.
They'd have to really collapse, I feel like. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility, but they'd have to lose a lot of these games down the stretch, which they could.
Yeah, they could. But yeah, I think LSU is kind of my hot take for will be it. But yeah, we're both picking Georgia here. You know, kind of sadly, but we're both picking Georgia. Next game we'll pick. I mean, I'm kind of looking at this Oklahoma-South Carolina game now, and it's a lot more interesting. Because I think South Carolina, if they don't win this game, I don't think they're going to make a bowl game.
I think they might have trouble making a bowl game even if they do. What's their record now?
Yeah, they're 3-3.
3-3, yeah. I mean,
it's a home game. It's in Williamsboro. We're going to pick this game because I'm going to take South Carolina to pull the upset.
You are?
Yeah, this Oklahoma offense is just not good. It's not good. John Napier had played some hero ball. There was also some big mistakes in the Michigan and Auburn games that didn't come back to bite them. They probably shouldn't have even won that Auburn game. The refs even, or the SEC even came out and stated that the one play that went towards in Oklahoma's favor shouldn't have even counted. So there's that. But I don't think this is that good of an Oklahoma team. I still like the environment Beamer has at South Carolina. Like the environment at Williams-Brice is going to be electric, hosting a top 15 team, but the culture that Beamer has at South Carolina. So I think the team's going to continue to play around him. I think Sellers is good. This Oklahoma defense is really great, but I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Who makes the mistake? If Napier plays, which he probably will at this point, but I think South Carolina is low-key going to sneak one here.
Yeah, my gut kind of.
This is my third time picking South Carolina, or my fourth time picking South Carolina, and they're 0 for 3 for me. So
excellent. My gut actually kind of tells me you're going to be right here, but I'm going to go with my brain because my brain is telling me Oklahoma will win. I think Oklahoma defensively is still pretty good. Obviously, like Texas, 7 of their 23 on a punt return, so like they weren't doing a ton offensively in this game either.
Both the South Carolina, the Michigan and Auburn games were at Gaylord, right? Oklahoma's home?
Yes.
So we haven't even, he struggled, it looked like the ball was coming out of his hand normally when Napier was throwing it. So I don't know if it was the injury or if that was holding him back. I had my concerns about him, but he hasn't even played at a road environment like Williams-Brice.
Yeah.
Give me a calculator.
Hey. They played at Temple. I'll have you know. They played at Lincoln Financial, an empty. They played at an empty Lincoln Financial. If that's still what the Eagle Stadium is called. Yeah, I just my gut kind of tells me because I think I think Napier is a good player. I think Oklahoma's offense outside of Napier has problems, including its offensive line, which isn't great. But I think Texas's defense looked like what we thought they were. And I think maybe the Florida game was just kind of a weird culmination of factors. Florida's offensive line had a great game and they weren't ready for Dallas, obviously, just some things that worked against them there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm willing to buy that the Texas's defense is still very good. And I think, look, another week for Napier. I don't think Napier looked very physically limited from what I watched from that game, but I think it's maybe still fair to say little rusty. I'm sure he was not practicing much in the lead up to this game
that's true.
With how much his status was in question. So I'll say he's more comfortable with another week back, assuming he's going to heal and practice more this week. I'll say Oklahoma wins, but I don't feel very good about that pick.
No. I'm glad I picked that, but 3 more games we're gonna 3 more pick here. Kind of do these a bit quicker. Tennessee at Alabama. I'm gonna take Bama. Tennessee's defense is awful. Bama's been playing lights out. I mean, this is gonna be their 4th straight top 15 opponent now. Vandy was top 15, right?
Yeah. Not yet. Actually, no, they had to have been. Yeah, because they still are up there almost. Yeah. So they had to have been before they lost.
So 3 top 15 opponents in a row. That's pretty tough. So maybe they're physically worn out going into this game. I just don't see it. And I think they're going to be looking for that revenge after losing to Tennessee last year. I'm going to take Bama to win here and even more solidify themselves. Them and A&M, the top of the SEC. Solidify them and A&M at the top of the SEC.
I will take Bama too, but I think this game is going to be fun as hell. I see
that.
I think Bama's defense is still a little bit questionable to the point where I think Tennessee's going to hit some plays. I think they're going to hit some plays and stay in this game. It's just, who do I trust more? I think Alabama's looked more complete so far.
Yeah. All right, next. This is a tough game to pick, honestly. USC at Notre Dame. Now, USC kind of just went and fraud-checked Michigan a bit, and now that I see Michigan looked pretty poor against Oklahoma, I'm not sure if Michigan's all that good, but they got that big win. They're going to Notre Dame, to South Bend. Notre Dame 0-2 against top 25 teams. Their defense has really struggled in their big games. I mean, Miami put 27 on them, but Miami moved it at a higher level than 27 points, and A&M obviously put up 41 on them. USC's offense, Jada Mayava's looked great. I mean, he's maybe one of the underrated QBs, which is weird to think for a Lincoln Riley quarterback being underrated with all these yards and nearly 1852 yards, 13 touchdowns, 2 picks. They have a good run game too, but it's in South Bend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust Lincoln Riley on the road, so I'm gonna stick with Notre Dame here. Although I'm kind of thinking USC might win this.
So one thing we were talking about last night is what happened to Wayman Jordan. I saw today what happened to Wayman Jordan is he's injured. He got injured in that game and is out for 4 to 6 weeks. So that's a big loss for USC. I will say I'm impressed. I picked Michigan. I thought Michigan was going to beat them. I gotta stop, man. I gotta stop picking road teams in these cross-country Big Ten games. I fall for it every single week.
Hey, this isn't a Big Ten game.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I don't even count this one. I almost don't even count as much, but I keep picking the road team in these East Coast, West Coast Big Ten games. I got to stop it. No, I think, on the road in South Bend, I think Notre Dame is better. I think I'm willing to look past Notre Dame losing to 2 really good teams early in the year, and they've been rolling these last couple weeks. So I think they're really good.
Yep. All right. Oh, was it the last game? Oh no, one more game here. This makes me sad to see. 23 Utah at 15 BYU. I'm going to take Utah by a lot. I don't think BYU's that good.
I don't think Utah by a lot because I don't think Utah's built to win win games by a lot against decently good teams.
Maybe not by a lot, but in a dominant fashion.
You got to feel like this is going to be a rough game for Bear Bachmeier. You got to feel like it's going to be a rough game for the true freshman.
BYU should not beat Arizona last night. 10-point lead with 5 minutes to go.
That's
losing in overtime.
It's pretty weak.
So you're also going Utah?
I'm also going Utah, yeah.
Do we want to pick the Missouri-Auburn game?
Can.
Are we both going Missouri here?
I might be inclined to go Auburn.
All right, if you're on Auburn, we'll pick it.
They've had a lot of tough losses. Like they were 0-3 in SEC. I don't think they're as bad as like their record looks.
No,
They've
I
been
agree
really
with you
competitive in these games. I feel like they're due to steal one. Where is this game? Is this in Columbia?
No, this is at Jordan Hare.
Yeah, give me Auburn. I think they're due for one. I think Missouri's beatable. I think Bo Prabula is a little mid. They get this one. I think Auburn gets this one. They'll stop the run. They'll get this one.
Here's the thing. If Auburn loses this game, do they fire Freeze right after? Or do they wait? Because if they don't fire him after, I think he might last the rest of the season.
I've been on the record. I don't really think Freeze is getting fired this year. I think he has to make a bowl, but I think if he makes a bowl, I think he'll survive. But there's a lot of chatter, so I might just be wrong on this one because there is a lot of chatter.
There is a lot of chatter. He's the third next most likely coach to be fired next. It's Luke Fickell minus 225, and then it's like Billy 135, and then Hugh Freeze like 225. So
wait, Luke Fickell has better odds than Billy, dude. I don't think they're paying that buyout. I don't think they can afford to give him that 25 mil. I think they're stuck with him, to be honest with you,
dude. Yeah. I would be so upset if I was a Wisconsin fan.
It's brutal. I feel awful for them. They're good fans. They don't deserve this, but it is what it is.
And it's also like I feel bad for Luke Fickell because I still think he's a great coach. Yeah. I think he went to the wrong situation.
Yeah. Well, he just didn't get it. He didn't understand what he was signing up for, I don't think.
No.
Like, Wisconsin is not a bad program, but it takes a very specific kind of identity to win there.
Yep. And he tried to change everything up, and it did not work. I mean, hey, if Penn State was firing James Franklin 4 years ago, Fickell would be taking that Penn State job.
Yeah,
and I'd be excited about that if I was a Penn State fan and everything like that. But no, it just went horribly wrong. But review our picks here. We both have Miami over Louisville. I have LSU over Vandy. You have Vandy. We both have Georgia. I have South Carolina upsetting OU. You have OU. We both picked Bama. Both picked Notre Dame. Both picked Utah. And then I have Missouri. You have Auburn. Let's see if I can win a week. The best I've done is tied. So, hey, maybe we'll get there one day. All right. Get to our final segment here. Florida versus Mississippi State. So we've now gotten to a weird point. So where the most interesting point on our shows isn't picking the games. It's more talking about when is Billy fired, who's going to be our new coach.
It's been like a month of this now, man.
Like even the LSU game was like because you lost to USF. Like USF's a decent team. Like they're not horrible, but that's still not a game you should lose.
Yeah. No, let's go all in, lock in 2-4. Got Mississippi State coming to town for homecoming. It's a huge game for Billy Napier. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Last time we wore alternate jerseys, we welcomed in Arkansas.
Oh my god. I'm kind of glad those black jerseys got shelved after that. I wanted
gonna
them,
bring it back for game 1.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
I mean, I kind of liked I liked the way Dan approached uniforms. I liked the variety under Dan. I was a fan.
Yeah, I like more of a simple variety.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like these throwbacks. I love the throwbacks actually, but I think they did too much with the black jerseys.
The black jerseys were too much. I like the blue helmets. I like the blue helmets for rare occasions. I don't want to see that a lot, but I liked it for like a road game against Tennessee. I was a fan of that.
See, we're talking about a SEC matchup here, and we're more concerned about our jerseys.
That's where we're at. That's the Billy Napier effect, y'all.
And, no offense to Mississippi State. They're a good team. Like, they've improved so much over the last year. Like, they went from non-competitive to an actual competitive SEC team that Are they going to win an SEC game this year? They have to sneak one up. It could be us.
I'm sure they will. They're too good. Because they're clearly a competent team. They're not great, but they're clearly not awful. And they'll win one. I have to look at the schedule. Do they not have Kentucky?
No. I pulled it up. So they have us. They host Texas. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. They go to Arkansas. That'll be a high-scoring, fun game.
They'll win that game, I think.
They host Georgia. They go to Missouri, and they host Ole Miss.
I'd say
But I feel like they have to
Missouri,
sneak one of those.
Missouri and Arkansas are very winnable. I think Ole Miss you have to say it's winnable at home just because it's a rivalry and at home.
And then, do you think they could beat Texas?
They could. I think that's kind of a bad matchup, but I think
It's
they
at
could.
home. That's like the one.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, so is Georgia, but
well, I think Georgia's a pretty clearly better team than Texas.
maybe they're better. I'm not sure how much better. I definitely think they're better. I still don't know what to make of Texas. I need more data. I need more data on Texas. I don't feel like I understand them.
That's a good point there, but no, we'll break down this matchup a little bit. You look at Florida's defense against Texas offense or Mississippi State's offense, because early in the game we got gashed for big plays against Texas A&M, and it didn't set us too far behind to where we couldn't keep up, but it got us to a point to where, have we ever won games where we've given up that many points early on? I don't think so.
Yeah, I struggle to think of it.
So we can't let Mississippi State go and score on us with that at that high of a level that Texas A&M did in the first quarter and first drive of the second quarter. So you look at our offense, our defense against their offense. Blake Shapen's a good QB. If Blake Shapen were the QB for like Ohio State, I don't think Ohio State's record would change at all.
No, I think Blake Shapen's like about that good of a quarterback. I mean, he's not a 5-star like Julian Sayin is, but I think he's solid. And I mean, he's just been playing in a pretty tough situation, but he's not a bad player.
He's a good, solid QB that, in theory, won't lose you a game if he was for a good enough team to play close games like that. So, yeah, he's a good QB. The bad news for Mississippi State, Fluff Bothwell. I assume he's not going to be playing. I know they had a bye week, but I remember his injury being pretty poor, so we won't get injured.
They said he avoided a major. They gave kind of an encouraging update.
I think I heard a high ankle sprain.
Levy said 5 days ago, the quote was, "We got good news back on Fluff." Sorry, hold on. It was.
Oh, you're good.
I lost it. Yeah, it was something. It was like, "We got good news back on Fluff. As we move forward, there's not this hard timeline for us right now. All the pictures came back and they look positive. I feel really good about that." They're saying it's day to day. So I think there's a chance he plays in this game.
Yeah, I heard it was a high ankle sprain, which from what it was, what people were worried it was, very, very good because he's going to play. He's going to play at some point, whether it's our game or not. But I think the big question here is Mississippi State's offensive line. Now, they had two starters missing in their game against A&M. But even with them, is that offensive line that good? I don't think so.
No.
Like, it's probably going to be smaller and weaker compared to the higher level teams. Like, compare it to Texas. I mean, Texas offensive line is actually pretty bad. So,
I mean, there's still a talent gap though between these two teams. Is the offensive and the Texas and offensive line and Mississippi State offensive line is still pretty massive.
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about Mississippi State's offensive line bullying us. I wouldn't say their Texas A&M's offensive line bullied us, but we were able to hold serve, kind of like the Miami game.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it could be.
No,
they couldn't run the ball. I mean, after Le'Veon Moss got hurt, they could not run the ball at all.
No,
I don't know how much Le'Veon Moss being in the game would have helped.
Well, I wouldn't say they couldn't run it, because I feel like they were still getting like good 5+ yard, like some 5-yard carries. Like,
I mean, Ruben Owens averaged 3 a carry, 51 on 17.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
I mean, they ran for 183 as a team, but on 42 carries with Marcel Reed going for 37 on 7 carries. Like, they had like, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of that was like, there was like jet sweeps and stuff too. So like, they ended up running for a lot of yards, but I don't feel like the down-to-down running game was very effective for A&M in that game.
Yeah, especially after the first couple of drives. So, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just still so worried. I mentioned it last night in that A&M game. I was still so worried. But I don't threaten Mississippi's run attack on us. I know, Caleb, we don't have that legit threat on the defensive line that scares every opponent, but it's still solid. It's good. It's well-disciplined group. It's still a better defensive line than we had after Grenard left for any of the Mullen teams or the first couple years here under Napier.
Yeah.
like pretty well.
No, I think the main thing that stands out to me about the Mississippi State offense versus Florida defense matchup is, like you said, the run game is there, but Florida's defense has been so good against the run. And I think Shapen's a good player, but the pass game itself has not been very good this year. They're kind of middle of the road, 65th in passing or 62nd.
They lost all their weapons.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one of them is playing on the team that we just lost to last night.
Had a big 66-yard catch in the first
Mario Craver. Yeah. So, but yeah, their passing offense is 62nd in EPA per play. So like middle of the road, and success rate of 39% is 101st. So they are not a particularly good, but all their rushing stats are top 15 pretty much. They have one of the best rushing offenses in the country. Yeah, but their passing offense is not very efficient.
Yeah, that surprises me a decent bit there.
They're number 2 in rushing. They're number 2 in rushing success rate nationally, and number 101 in passing success rate nationally.
So maybe that plays a factor, but again, I trust their run defense enough to not get gashed, especially that they don't have a threat at QB. I mean, Kamario Taylor, their backup QB freshman, 10 carries, 79 yards. So it seems like they might bring him in for a couple packages. Like, assuming that's not just all in garbage time. So maybe that's something that we could look out for to open up the run game a bit more for him. But no, like their run attack, it could be lethal. Like if our team gives up, we've said this so many times in the Billy Napier era, if the team gives up, then, all hell could break loose there. But I don't suspect that happening. So I'm going to break this down with how I break down these other games. I don't expect that to happen. I think maybe they could break off a big run or two, but I don't see anything consistent happening throughout this game.
No, I think they'll maybe hit some runs, but I think Florida could just kind of sell out to stop the run, and I don't know if you're getting punished for that. So I think this defensively will be a welcome sight. Just given, I mean, not that Texas's offense is a world beater by any means, or LSU's, but I think just given the talent you've been going up against, I think this is going to be a nice breather for the defense. I don't think they're going to struggle too much in this game.
No, and if you look at what's gave us the most struggle, it's been the deep balls. Now, they adjusted against A&M. I don't really see many deep threats. Jordan Mosley, 7 catches, 159, 22.7 yards average. Maybe he's solid, but
I mean, they're not an explosive passing offense at all. So,
like, I see our defense at worst holding serve in this game. And what's the max points you think Mississippi State could score on us?
17 or 20.
Oh, we'll say 20. Okay. Yeah, I probably agree. Unless like the offense just like, I mean, we'll say the defense.
If Mississippi State puts up like 24 points in this game, I would be, unless it's like 2 pick sixes, I would be pretty disappointed in how the defense played.
Yeah, I mean, 24 in Arizona State, which included that like Hail Mary type play, and then 9 against Texas A&M. Yeah, I would be pretty shocked at this point if Mississippi State was able to put up some good points on us.
They put up a lot against Tennessee, but there was still some weirdness to that too. Like they were making plays, but that was just kind of a weird game.
Yeah, I mean, Shapen still had 175, so a lot of it came through the run on Fluff Bothwell, who again don't know if we expect him to even be playing in this game. So
yeah,
I just don't see it with their offense giving us much of trouble. But then you look at our offense against their defense, and I feel like the first thing I'll start off with is our offensive line against their defensive line, given how badly our offensive line performed. Is there a single player that's like noteworthy on this Mississippi State defensive line?
I mean, not particularly. It's not a super imposing defense overall.
No. If our offensive line plays like how it did against Texas, I would expect us to have more success than we did against Texas.
I mean, only 2 guys. No one on this roster has more than 2 sacks, and only 2 guys have multiple sacks. So,
yeah.
So only on the year, only 8 total sacks for the Mississippi State defense.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm too worried about them getting pressure on DJ Lagway. Not too worried about them stopping the run. I think, again, the bigger question is going to be Napier's play calling.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like there's not too much to break down. I mean, their DBs Tony Mitchell, former 5-star, is on this Mississippi State team.
Actually, I'm not sure I knew that. That's funny.
Former Gator Cristobal. Whoa.
They have a lot of guys with interceptions. That's crazy.
Really?
No one has multiple, but they have 8 guys with an interception this year. They all have 1.
That's interesting. With Lagway,
that is a crazy.
They have 8 picks.
They have 8 picks, all by different players.
I mean, Lagway's not been too. If you take away the LSU game, Lagway hasn't been too interception riddled this season. Now you can't just take away a game where he threw 5 picks, but maybe that's something to keep an eye on. Maybe they can get 2 picks on us in this game, and that keeps them in it, gives them some good field position. But I think I don't know, receivers can be a bit not our picks. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're lucky, but that can be a lot of right place, right time type of things.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they had 8 of those already, or like a good amount of those already, then I wouldn't suspect that to continue. Like, sometimes things just happen, but I like our receivers over their corners. I mean, Tony Mitchell, I haven't really heard too much about him. I know he's on the roster, so
he has 10 tackles on the year, no passes defended, no interceptions, no anything else. 10 total tackles, 6 solo. That's it.
So I'm not too worried about our passing game from a fact of looking at their defense. So really, the main question here is coaching, which I don't think you can look at Jeff Levy and be like he's some coaching whiz either. He has a big win over Arizona State, but
I think he's doing a pretty good job. I mean, I think they're a lot better this year. Like, he's not like a proven great coach yet, but I think he's doing.
I guess coaching decisions in game.
Yeah. Well, Levy's kind of cut from the same cloth in the sense that Levy's like a true offensive mind guy. Like, Levy's his own play caller. Levy was hired for being a good OC. So, kind of similar to Billy in that vein, where we still kind of don't know how he is as like a CEO game manager kind of guy. We just know he can call him some offense. But I take that back because we don't know that about Billy, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you there. But yeah, it feels like it's just on paper, even based on the stats this year and how we've seen teams play, we're still just like the more physically imposing, better talented team. I guess, are you ready to get into your picks, or is there any like stats or anything?
Yeah, let's do it. I feel like this is, maybe we'll go more in depth for Georgia if you win this game, but I think for now, I think we all know what's up, and if this game doesn't go how we think, it's all over. So
yeah. All right. So what's your score prediction for this game?
I'll say actually, I'd say, I said the max score. I think I'm going to actually have them being near the max score. I'll say 31-20 Florida.
Okay. That's kind of what I'm thinking in my head. Just Billy does not like scoring over 30 points.
Yeah.
How many times has he scored over 30 points in SEC play? Year one against
the loss to LSU in 23.
Yeah. Year one, the loss to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Did we score 28, or did we score again against LSU in 2022? I know we had at least 28. I think it was 42-28.
I think you're right. That sounds right. Yeah, I don't know. Billy hasn't done it a lot.
So year one, just the Tennessee game? No. Year one, we actually did it multiple times because Texas A&M and
we did a lot of A&M, South Carolina.
So 3 in year
South
one.
Carolina, we scored 38.
And then year two, the LSU game.
Did we do it in the comeback over South Carolina?
Yeah, 23 game.
So we did it again.
Okay, so
maybe we did it against South Carolina in 22, and we did in 23, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I'll predict us to win 30-16.
Okay.
So we're both at these same.
We're pretty much in line. I just want to say I almost sniped not what I said on the show, because I said 27-14 in my prediction on the show, and then later in the week in a prediction I wrote, because I'll do this sometimes. I have no honor. I'll change my take a little bit because look, we make these picks on Sundays. It's hard sometimes. I ended up saying 27-17.
News changes.
Yeah, I ended up saying 27-17 is my score prediction. I almost sniped that. It was very close to being the. They had just kicked instead of scoring that touchdown there at the end. But
You said what? 27. Wait, say it again.
Or so I said 27-17, and then because there was the point where it was 24, because it was 24-17, and then if they just kicked that field goal and then it's like run it out, it would have been right. Instead of but they scored to make it 31.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, but we both got Florida winning relatively, like, I wouldn't say blowouts, but games that should be comfortable wins. But you know, I think those are games that could still get Billy fired. And that's kind of what everyone's going to be asking, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I would be really surprised if Scott fires him after a win. You seem to feel differently on that, so we'll just have to see.
Yeah, it's just a couple of things I'm hearing. It's like, it's boosters. Boosters are going to be a lot in this, like, they're going to pull their money if stuff doesn't change. I know high-level boosters are upset, and they're probably just been talked down to, hey, wait till the bye week.
Well, we'll see.
But, hey, this was a fun show. Do you have any closing thoughts you want to say before we head out?
No, I really would like to have one of these where we have more to do than when will Billy Napier be fired? Why hasn't Billy Napier been fired? Is Billy Napier fired now? Like, it'd be nice to have a coaching search to talk about, kind of get more in depth with those kind of conversations. But right now it's all speculative because Gators still have a football coach, at least for, I guess, at least the next 6 days. So,
hey, 22 days until college basketball starts.
There you go.
NBA season starts in 2 days, and the Magic play on Wednesday. Magic looking really good. I'm seeing predictions for them as high as this 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. So, hey, everything besides football still looks pretty good for us. I mean, Jags lost Saturday game, but
that was unfortunate.
Still should be a playoff level team there.
Still 4-2. Look, hey, I would have taken 4-2 in a heartbeat. No details disclosed. I would have taken 4-2 in a heartbeat.
Absolutely. So, I'd like to thank you guys for joining and watching the show. Hope you guys have a great week. We will see you Saturday night after the Mississippi State game. I'll be at the game, so it'll be a little bit later after. But, hey, is the game early enough for us to – if Billy loses against Mississippi State, do you think we'll know if he's fired by the time we go live Saturday night?
They won't announce it on Saturday night.
It won't be official, but –
there will probably be some leaks. Because if I remember correctly – McElwain, when he got fired after the Georgia game in 2017, if I remember correctly, there was a lot of chatter Saturday night. It didn't happen till the next day, but there was like significant chatter, like Jim McElwain's getting fired imminently. So I think you'll get something similar to that if you lose to Mississippi State for sure. Please no.
Who's Chucky?
That's John Gruden. Please no.
He'll take us to a Super Bowl with Josh Freeman. No, but right, it was Josh Freeman, right?
No, that was way before. He went to the Super Bowl with Brad Johnson. Is that who I'm thinking? Who am I thinking of? Am I right? Yeah, I am right. But Brad Johnson.
Yeah, okay. Brad Johnson. Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it'll be John Gruden. I haven't heard anything saying it will be, so thumbs down to Chucky. But thank you guys for watching the show. We'll see you guys next Saturday. Hope you have a great week. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel. See you then, and as always, go Gators.